Have you ever woken up to a terrible day or news so bad that it looks like you were blindsided? 1 minute, everything looks perfect, and then suddenly, all hell breaks loose. Once, a beautiful garden lay at the center of the settlement, and it was being cared for by an eccentric gardener called Hari. Hari, the caretaker, spent his life nurturing it, making sure the flowers bloomed and the leaves glistened with health. The entire settlement woke up to a sudden and strange shift in the weather conditions. A strong dry wind ran through the settlement, leaving every green struggling, including Hari's garden. Like everything beautiful in life, this once vibrant garden suddenly began to wither alongside other plants. Most lost hope, but Hari didn't. With consistent effort, he saved the garden. This story of Hari is an illustration of a deeper scientific truth. Our efforts, no matter how small, can create lasting impacts that stretch beyond our immediate circumstances, even affecting future generations through our very genes. Let's explore the connection between Hari's journey and the science of genetics, epigenetics, and the long-lasting effects of persistence on our lives and the lives of our descendants. In this video, we also explore the undeniable truth of life's unpredictability when it comes to horrible things happening, the power of sacrifice, and all the ways you can overcome sudden tragedy. Just like Hari's garden faced a harsh drought, our lives inevitably go through cycles of good and bad times. Life is a delicate balance of growth and decay, success and struggle. When challenges arise, they may seem overwhelming, but like the seasons, they too pass. This cycle of life is reflected in nature and even at the genetic level. In terms of genetics, our genes don't operate in isolation. The environment plays a significant role in how they are expressed. This is the essence of the nature versus nurture debate. While our genes, nature, provide the blueprint, our environment and choices, nurture, influence how those genes are expressed. The cycle of life affects both aspects, shaping who we are, just as Hari's garden flourished in good weather and wilted during drought. At the cellular level, even plants respond to cycles of drought and rain, adjusting their growth patterns and conserving energy during tough times. Our bodies, too, adapt to stress. Studies show that short-term stress can activate certain genes that make us more resilient, much like how Hari's garden survived the drought due to his persistence. Epigenetics, the study of how our behaviors and environment can cause changes that affect the way our genes work, shows us that hardship can either make or break us, depending on how we respond. And sometimes, it's almost about how we choose to react in the face of negative environment than it is about the adverse. Just as Hari tended his garden, we must nurture our dreams during life's harshest seasons. So how should you respond? Well, first, you must learn to embrace sacrifice. The power of sacrifice. Hari's daily walk to the distant well, carrying water in buckets, is a testament to the power of sacrifice. When others saw no hope, Hari kept going. The garden's survival wasn't just about luck, it was about consistent effort, determination, and the willingness to sacrifice for a greater good. In life, sacrifice is a fundamental part of success. Just as Hari walked miles to nourish his plants, we too must be willing to give up comfort or immediate gratification to achieve long-term goals. And here's where science comes into play again. Sacrificing time, energy, and resources to work toward a goal can actually alter our genetic expression. Epigenetics shows us that lifestyle changes, such as hard work, discipline, and even overcoming stress, can switch certain genes on or off. This process doesn't just affect us, but can be passed down to our descendants. Imagine Hari's garden as a metaphor for your genes. The effort you put into nourishing your dreams and aspirations can have effects that ripple through your lineage. The 100-year effect suggests that what we do today can impact not only our lives, but also those of our grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Hari's sacrifices kept the garden alive, just as our sacrifices today can cultivate a future that blooms for generations. But when you are ready to sacrifice, there will be voices you have to ignore, voices that tell you you can't overcome. Ignoring the pessimists. Throughout Hari's struggle, villagers doubted his efforts. Why bother, they asked. The drought will kill the plants anyway. But Hari ignored them. He knew that success isn't always immediate, and giving up would guarantee failure. To achieve our dreams, we must learn to block out the pessimists. Pessimism, like a weed, can choke out the life of our ambitions. Even though the pessimists may sometimes seem right, just as the villagers thought the drought would inevitably destroy the garden, persistence often proves them wrong. From a scientific standpoint, our psychology plays a huge role in how we handle adversity. Negative voices, whether from others or from within, can activate stress responses in our bodies, which in turn affect gene expression. Chronic stress, especially caused by listening to negativity, can impair not only our mental health, but also our long-term success. But just as Hari pruned away the dead branches in his garden, we must prune away the negative voices and doubts that hinder our growth. Remembering the good times. Gardens bloom and they die. It is life. But never forget when you could smell the flowers, as this memory will help drive your resolve to never give up on your garden. One of Hari's greatest tools in his journey to save the garden was his memory. He remembered how the garden flourished before the drought. This memory kept him going, giving him hope that his hard work would eventually bear fruit. Similarly, when we face challenging times, it helps to remember when things were going well. The achievements we've already accomplished serve as evidence that we are capable of more. When life's drought hits, recalling past successes helps maintain hope. In fact, studies show that reflecting on positive experiences activates the reward centers in our brain, releasing dopamine, a neurotransmitter that motivates us to keep going. The science of positive reinforcement shows that celebrating even small wins can create a feedback loop, driving us to continue our efforts even during difficult times. In Hari's case, the memory of his flourishing garden acted as that positive reinforcement, pushing him to continue watering, pruning, and tending to the plants despite the drought. Things will always get better. As Hari's story shows, things eventually do get better. By the end of the season, the garden was once again blooming, a testament to the power of persistence. Hari's belief in the cycle of life, his sacrifices, and his ability to ignore pessimists allowed him to see his garden thrive again. This belief is backed by science. Epigenetic changes caused by stress and hard work are often reversible, meaning that even if life's challenges seem to leave a mark, things can always improve with continued effort. The genes we activate or suppress during tough times can shift back, just as the garden returned to life after the drought. Over time, the consistent work we put into our dreams will eventually pay off. Moreover, the 100-year effect reminds us that the actions we take today, the sacrifices we make, and the dreams we chase can impact not just our lives, but also the lives of future generations. The persistence we show in the face of adversity can create a ripple effect, making our descendants more resilient, capable, and empowered to face their own challenges. In conclusion, Hari's story teaches us that nurturing our dreams, much like a garden, requires patience, sacrifice, and a steadfast belief that things will get better, even when the skies are clouded with doubt. Science backs up this wisdom, showing that our efforts, our sacrifices, and even our resilience in the face of pessimism can shape not only our own lives, but also the lives of those who come after us. Keep tending your garden, even in the drought, because one day it will bloom again,